going, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, Level M Diecast, bringing you Diecast Masters today. 1/64 scale cap machines. These have been out for a little bit. However, I've been reluctant on buying these because I'm cheap, I'll be honest with you. They normally retail for $14.99 for most online retailers. These are now sold at Hobby Lobby, so you can pick these up at Hobby Lobby. And of course, they are only $11.99. That's the best price you can get for these. Made of diecast metal, highly detailed, moving parts, authentic cat trade dress. They're mostly plastic. It's a little misleading. There is metal in every single model, but they're mostly plastic. This is their ultra budget line. Diecast Masters makes some very high-end stuff, mostly in 1/50th scale. But they do make this line right here, which is true 1/64 scale. There is the entire mix there on the back. We do have all 6 sets available to us. We're going to crack them all open. Again, these are sold at Hobby Lobby now, so we're going to take a look at those now. These come in a plastic clamshell, but we don't need any scissors. There is a little tab here in the back. You just kind of grab the tab, put your finger in there, and then you pull on the tab to get it separated, and it is perforated. So there we go. It's not exactly the most straightforward thing, but it works. It does what it's supposed to do. So you don't need scissors. So we'll crack this. There we go. A lot of plastic to this packaging. So this first one we're going to take a look at, it is the CAT CB13 Tandem Vibratory Roller with cab. So that is a huge mouthful right there. Again, super good details to this. It is all plastic except for this little piece right here. That little piece right there is metal, and the little side pieces right here, the side pieces that go onto the rollers. But the roller drums are plastic, cab is plastic, the rest of the model is plastic. Again, there's very little metal to these models, but the detail is fantastic. The deco looks good. Super, super nice, super crisp. Even the operator cab in there looks pretty good. It's kind of hard to see in there, but it is a pretty nice operator cab. So it does not open or anything. The cab doesn't come off. It just sits there. But it does steer just like you'd expect it to do. And, of course, both drums do roll. And it does have, of course, the scraper down here, which is really, really nice. So it rolls around just perfectly fine. Looks very, very good. I like it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And, of course, like I said, it is 1/64 scale, which is pretty nice. All right. Let's move on to one that's much, much better. This one is your CAT L320, I'm sorry, 320F L hydraulic excavator. Sorry about that. It's a whole mouthful these days. So we'll get this one cracked out. Now, you can use scissors. Scissors might be faster, but as long as it actually works correctly, it works correctly. So, let's see here. Not used to cracking them open from blisters because normally they come in boxes. So there is our CAT 320FL. This is a pretty good chunk of metal. This main body is all metal. The cab is plastic, but the main body is metal. Just the top of the body, the bottom of the body is, of course, plastic. The entire boom section and everything is plastic as well. Plastic for the railing. This little black part on the top for the engine cover, that's also plastic. But it does do a full 360 rotation, as you'd expect. It does have rubber tracks on there, so the tracks do roll. So you can get the first roll in there, get them kind of stretched out a little bit, get them out of their manufacturing stuck position. And then, of course, it has pretty good details on the side. It doesn't have actual hydraulics, but all the hydraulics are printed up, which looks really, really, really good. Even has a warning logo there, which is really, really nice, fine detail. Even in the back, really, really good detail to this. Just super, super crisp, looks good. And of course, it goes up and down, just like you expect from an excavator. And then, of course, it comes in and out. And then, of course, the bucket also moves itself. The good thing about this one is it almost, despite the very limited mobility, it almost folds up as you'd expect. This should fold up just a little bit more for transport purposes, but that's pretty close. If you have a 1/64 scale lowboy, it will work pretty good. The boom does stay up on its own, so you don't have to worry about the boom falling down or anything like that. Over time, it will probably wear out and kind of fall apart, so to speak. But that one looks pretty good, so we'll set this guy right there. So it is what it is. It's not really presentation. All right, next one up. This one is the 950M wheel loader. So this one is the one that took me a little bit to find. It was not as easy to find as the rest. Most Hobby Lobbies only carry 2 at a time. There we go. So it's, oof, sorry if that's super loud in the camera. I apologize for that. I'm not sure how long it's going to take you guys to put these together if you want to do it, but it took me 5 Hobby Lobby stores to put together the whole set. Now this one is very interesting because this one actually looks really, really, really good. But the functionality is severely lacking. So the bucket comes up and down as you'd expect. The problem is that it only dumps to here. You can't actually dump the bucket. That's as far as it goes. There's stoppers right here. As you can see, there's like a straight edge to it. So when it comes down, it stops that. Now you could probably shave that off and get some motion out of it. But that's designed to make sure that the bucket itself doesn't fall and lose any kind of friction. So it's built into there, which is fine. Again, this is not exactly meant to be like the most highly detailed show replica. It's a little bit supposed to be more of a playability kind of thing. These are plastic wheels. They are not rubber, and they are not even soft rubber. They are plastic wheels, but it is 2-piece wheel. The cover you see right here with the print on there, this is 950M. That is metal all the way through the top. That is the only thing that's metal. The cab and everything else is plastic. As of course we saw, and the base, it is also plastic. Details on the back look pretty good. It says cat on the back, like the details, lighting, exhaust on there, all the framework and stuff. Oops, sorry about that. All the framework and stuff for the safety of the cab and whatnot is all on there. Looks pretty decent. That's probably the air conditioning unit there on the side. Ladders that come up on both sides, which look pretty good. Some lighting on there as well. There's no hydraulic detail to the boom on this one. It's just pretty straightforward, but it also does steer. It steers exactly like you'd expect it to. And of course, 1/64 scale. So all of these do scale to each other pretty accurate. They're pretty good on that. All right. Of course, if you have a front-end loader, you need a dump truck. So we have our dump truck right here. This is the Cat CT660 dump truck. This is one of the ones that I kind of been wanting for a really long time. Oof. I really hope that's not that loud on the camera, guys. I do apologize. Get this out of here. It's a little bit more loud than I expected. So get that out of there. A lot of plastic pieces to this. So there is our CT660, which looks pretty good. Of course, the cab itself is metal, so that's pretty obvious. I think that's the easiest thing to put on there to be metal is the cab. However, this one also has a metal chassis, so this one's actually pretty up there. It still uses 2-piece wheels, as you can see on there. 2-piece wheels molded together. It does have that third axle. Third axle is fixed. It doesn't move. It is a licensed bed from Ox Bodies, so there's an Ox Bodies logo on there, which is really, really cool. Authentic cat deco on there. Even has cat in the little vent right there. Looks really good. Fuel tanks on the side, all kinds of stuff like that. Looks pretty good. Details on the back, very, very nice. All the taillights done up, deco, all that good stuff like that. The back little section here does pop open. It's got a rounded bed in there, which is really, really nice. And of course, yes, it does dump. There's no hydraulics to it, but it does dump. It's pretty straightforward, and that's about as high up as it goes. So not super crazy, but it's not bad. It's not bad. So there's a little bit of silver print on the side right here too, on the side of the bed. Just a little bit of silver print, and it looks pretty decent. Now I know for a fact that this one was part of their Play and Collect series, although it had rubber tires, and they retailed for about $22. So they were significantly more expensive, but that looks pretty good. It looks pretty good with all the pieces there. It's too bad there's not like a flatbed featherlight trailer or something like that. You could put the roller on and tow it around with the dump truck. That'd be kind of cool. All right, moving on to another model right here. This one right here is, of course, the Cat D6R track type tractor. Not exactly the largest bulldozer, but I think it's a pretty fair compromise for the scale. Let's see if I can get this open. There we go. So let me crack this off the screen so it's a little bit less loud. That way I can get all the plastic out of here as well. So there is our Cat D6. This is a pretty decent one. This one, it's kind of ridiculous because the only metal is actually the blade. The whole rest of the model is plastic, so I guess it's okay because it keeps weight on the blade. So, you know, it looks okay. Although all these connecting points you see, there's no movement to that. It's fixed piece, but the blade does go up and down. And of course the ripper in the back actually works, which is really, really nice. That's a pretty nice detail to add in there. The dozer has, of course, rubber tracks. They are independent from each other. They are not connected to each side, which is kind of cool. Does have the drive wheel in there, which looks good with the teeth and stuff on there. The dozer itself, it's pretty straightforward. The details on there are pretty straightforward. Your air cleaner on this side, and of course your exhaust on this side. The deco looks pretty good. The cat colors are nice. They do a good job, even though they're plastic. And then there's nothing on the base. It's, like I said, it's pretty straightforward. Some details on the front for the grill, and of course the cat logo itself. Throwing that down there. Now, this bulldozer seems a little bit off scale. I'm not a construction equipment expert, so you guys can certainly let me know, but I do feel like that bulldozer is just a little bit off scale. But let me know what you guys think, especially in comparison to everything else. All right, the last one is the most interesting one because you actually get two models in this. Yes, it's still only $12. Now, this was also in the Play and Collect series. It's a tracked skid steer and a normal skid steer. These are normally come with a bunch of accessories, but of course for the price you can't get accessories. The 272 D2 skid loader and the 297 D2 multi-terrain skid loader, which is of course the one with the tracks. I thought this one was going to be the hardest one to find, but this was actually the very first ones that I found, which made me chase down the rest of them. So put that out here. We'll take a look at our regular one first, our 272D. Again, the functionality is pretty basic. It does what it should do, but it is super basic. Now, as you can see, these just clip on. So this is designed to have other accessories and stuff like that. So in the older Play and Collect series, they came with a bunch of different accessories that you could put on there and utilize. There's the decos on the side. Looks pretty straightforward. The cab's pretty decent because it actually has kind of a window there. And there's a seat inside. It's kind of difficult to see in there, but the boom section here is metal, and then part of the body is metal as well. So, being that it's so small, they put a little bit more metal in this model, which is nice. But it looks a little bit weird, but it actually looks pretty on par scale. Maybe not to the bulldozer again, but everything else it looks pretty good on scale. And then, of course, you know, if you wanted to get to the dump truck, you can't quite get there, but it's close. It's close. All right, the better one is this one, of course, right here, which is the 297D, the multi-terrain. Now, the body section itself and the boom and all that stuff is exactly the same as the other one. The only difference is this one has, of course, the track set up on it, so there's a little bit different details for it. So the tracks do move, as you can see. And of course the steering wheel in there, as you can see, it moves. So there's connected on this one. The dozer, they weren't connected, but they're connected on this one, which I think is perfectly fine. Looks pretty good. Super small tracks, and they're so stiff. And there's just not a whole lot of friction to the tracks to get them to move, but they do work. You know, it's not like the bulldozer where it just moves kind of naturally. Looks pretty good. This one takes a significant amount of effort to get those tracks to move. And of course, they obviously come off of the rails, as you can see. Not exactly the most straightforward, but it works. It just doesn't work all that well. And of course, being such a small scale, you can't really expect too much, especially for basically like $5.50 is basically what each one of those costs. So, see if you can balance it on two wheels. Yeah, maybe not. So there you go. That is Diecast Masters' latest set. Now available at Hobby Lobby, only $11.99. Crazy because Hobby Lobby usually has the highest prices for stuff. But really, really nice to see Hobby Lobby expanding their diecast aisle, bringing in some different stuff, bringing in some cool stuff, some new stuff. I'm pretty happy to get these. I'm pretty stoked about those, even though they are a step down from the Play and Collect series. But of course, they are half the price, so it works out. So anyways, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think about those. Let me know what you think about Diecast Master stuff, and we're going to roll out. Catch you next time on Live and Limb. Peace!